Hello my wonderful saplings, and thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be doing a Into the Taurus season reading for you guys. So this is going to be done in two parts. The first part is going to be specifically for Taurus, or if you have any Taurus placements in your chart. If you don't know what your chart is, you can just simply Google free natal chart and you can insert your birth date, time, and the place. If you don't know the time of your birth, just insert noon, just 12 o'clock p.m. Don't try and guess, just, don't try and make up a time because then your houses are going to be off, so just general noon if you don't know your time. And that'll give you your natal chart and probably also kind of a description about, kind of basic personality traits and, whatnot. But yeah, so this is going to be a reading for any of my Taurus friends who, if you have Taurus specifically in Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus positions, I'm going to be mainly focusing on that, but of course you can watch if you have, Taurus placements and any other aspect of your chart. And then I'm also going to be doing a reading for people who don't have Taurus in their chart. So if you're one of those people who do have Taurus in your chart, I recommend watching both parts, just so you can see both, and specifically pay attention to how the reading plays out in regards to that specific placement in your chart. And then if you don't have any Taurus in your chart at all, then you can just, skip to the second reading, unless you, feel drawn to watch the first part, but, it's up to you. And I think that's pretty much it. I also thought that it would be kind of interesting if I showed you guys how I kind of prep for a reading or how I get my space all set up. So the first thing I do is I light candles. I'd already had my candles lit and didn't, just want to blow them out just, for the sake of filming me lighting a candle. But basically I have 3. There's no particular reason I have 3. That's just the amount of candles I happen to have at the time. There's one here, one back here, and then there's one here. And yeah, so I just light those. The purpose for doing that is just because negativity doesn't like light. It's kind of that dark and, the dark and the light aspect. And also just because they smell good and that just is a really nice aesthetic, but there is actually like a purpose behind that. And then what I do is I will grab my sage. This is currently the sage stick that I am working with. And I will just kind of, whatever candle, I don't know, just is easiest for me to get a smudge going. I just kind of take it, put it under the flame, let that, smoke for a little bit, and then I will sage the space. Then I will also sage myself. And then while that's still burning, I have a little plate here that I just leave it on just because let the smoke, just kind of move and do its thing. I can put it back in this bowl. This is a fireproof bowl, but I just like having it there because then, the smoke can go and do its thing instead of being snuffed out by the bowl. And then I'm going to take a stick of Palo Santo, and I'm going to smudge that as well. The reason I like to do both is because sage tends to just clear any and all energies, just give a really nice blank slate, whereas Palo Santo specifically gets rid of any negative energies. And so I just kind of like to follow up with Palo Santo as just kind of a backup and make sure, specifically there are no negative energies affecting the reading or in the space. All right. And that's still smoking a little bit, so I'll put that there. This can go back in here. All right, and that's pretty much just how I prep. If I'm doing a specific reading for a client or anything like that, I tend to sit for a bit after I do this, and I will meditate on their energy, and I will, kind of pick up whatever kind of vibe that is, but because this is a general reading, that's not necessary. So, I'm going to be using my Rider-Waite Tarot deck here. This is just the one that I feel drawn to use today. And you'll have to excuse me, my voice is kind of hoarse. I've just recently been getting over a cold, so you will have to excuse that. Alright, and And then if I feel the need to pull any oracle cards, I will do so. But yeah, I'm just going to get right into shuffling the cards. And while I'm shuffling, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I personally read tarot. So the way that I read tarot is intuitively. Now, that means that I don't necessarily always stick with what the book, or the guide, or the traditional meaning of the cards are. I basically will pick up whatever messages are coming across. I am what they call, again, I don't really like labeling, my psychic abilities, but if I had to put a word to it, the most accurate terms would be clairsentient and claircognizant. However, sometimes I do get, smells or, phrases will come into my head. Sometimes I'll hear certain noises, but the most consistent is claircognizant and clairsentient. So, but yeah, that's basically how I read. I don't like to go by the guidebook. However, I do pull, I always make sure that I have that in the back of my mind whenever I'm doing a reading, what the traditional meanings of the cards are, because I feel it's important to acknowledge the history and kind of the culture around tarot, and in order for me to do so, I want to make sure that I always keep, oh my goodness, I messed up that shuffle. Awful. Wow. Oops. Okay, Queen of Wands. That came out in the pre-shuffle. We'll see if that has any significance or if that comes out again. That card has been coming out a lot for me recently. Part of me thinks that it's actually talking about me. It's more of a card to be like, look, you're the Queen of Wands. But I will keep that noted. But yeah, that's basically just how I read. If you have any questions or, you want something more specific, feel free to let me know. How I shuffle, I just shuffle until it feels right. That's basically it. Alright, one more and then we'll be good. Okay, so I'm going to be reading for Taurus first. So Taurus, or anyone who just wants to watch the Taurus reading, stick around. If not, I will have the timestamp listed in the comment section below. For those of you who are not interested in watching the Taurus reading, or, oh my goodness, if we're not watching the Taurus reading, or if you, just want to skip to the everyone else reading, feel free to do so. But yeah, the cards feel really good. Got some really good energy coming through. I'm just going to cut the deck and then we will begin. Alright, so alright, let's see what my Taurus friends have in store for this Taurus season. I have no set spread in mind. I'm just, whenever the message feels like it's been delivered is when I will stop. So I'm just going to wait for cards to pop out. The immediate energy that I'm picking up, it's like positive, hard-working energy, if that makes sense. Like, it's definitely, oh, wait a second. Hello, little friends. These cards flipped over. Interesting. All right, now I feel like I should be taking all three of them. So, here we go. But before I look into the cards, it's this hard-working but positive energy, as in, like, you're going to need to put in work, you're going to need to be doing work. However, there is this positive mindset behind it. It's not necessarily like, oh, I have so much work to do. It's like, I'm going to get this work done. Like, I know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to get this done and just, power through it. It's going to be great and all that stuff. That's kind of what I am feeling. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands. Swords. Six of Swords. Six of Wands too. All right. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so we have two sixes come out, so maybe 6 is a number that you've been seeing recently, or just should note whenever you see it during this Taurus season. Excuse me. So what I'm seeing is, again, this is kind of correlating to the energy that I felt. You have this hard-working energy. It's this you know, like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, put my nose to the grindstone and I'm just gonna, you know, do what I need to do. However, I feel like there's gonna be some people, normally these cards don't indicate people for me, but however, I'm getting the sense that these are people in your life. These two people that may not exactly be very supportive of what you're doing. It's not necessarily that they're going to be super negative about it, but I feel like they're just going to be kind of poking fun at you and kind of teasing you, and it's just going to kind of get annoying after a while. However, just keep pushing through, you know, like just keep doing you. That's what I'm seeing so far, but there are definitely more messages that need to come out. So let's see what else we have for you guys. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Interesting. Okay. Wow. Did I read those wrong? Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a 6. These are 7s, and that's an 8. I don't know how to count. Okay, so if you've been seeing 7s, or you're seeing, or you will be seeing 7s, just note that that's a sign that, you know, the universe is here, it's with you. And this is an 8. I don't know how to read Roman numerals, apparently. Good job, Madeline. Anyway, so this is a 6. This is a 6 of Pentacles. And this, again, is what I'm seeing as kind of like a, look, once you put in this hard work, you're going to have this huge abundance come in. Like, your life is going to be balanced. It's going to be great. You're going to have so much that you're going to give back. And you're going to want to give back. This is the universe telling you that it's not just an option that you have. It's something that you should do. It's something that you should be doing. You should be giving back. You should be... And it doesn't necessarily mean, like, you're donating things. But it just means, like, helping a friend out, you know, or being there for others. Or, you know, offering advice when, you know... when asked, like, just, you know, give back. Like, just don't be very selfish with the abundance that's going to come whenever you do this hard work. And again, I'm not really feeling that it's strictly, you know, materialistic or financial. It could just, you know, be emotional support. You know, you might be making better connections with people. You might just be mentally in a better place. Did a card flip over? I think it did, yeah. All right, let's see what else we have. I feel like I should just take that card and the rest are not relevant. All right, let's see what we got. Interesting. Okay, so I love this. All right, 3 of Cups, 5 of Cups. You see all of these 3 cups are in celebration, but they get knocked over. What I'm seeing is with this hard work, it's going to come this celebration. It's going to come this abundance. However, something's going to happen that is going to kind of knock you back. It's going to kind of take you back a bit. So be careful about being wasteful, because what I'm seeing with this is if you, you know, say, you know, you get a promotion or, you know, you get a raise at work, something like that. And then you're kind of like, yeah, like, you know, no, dinner's on me, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, that's great, and you should be doing that. Just be careful, okay? You don't want to overextend and you know, estimate what you actually have, you know, to give, or, you know, whatever materialistic or even emotional, you know, maybe, this just came into mind. It's just, you know, slightly, not morbid, but I don't know, just, I guess, sad. I don't know the word for it, but essentially, say, like, maybe you suffer from, you know, depression or something like that, and then maybe, you know, you're in a place of feeling better, so you start extending help, you start going out more, you start, you know, getting better, but then all of a sudden it might become too much, and it just starts to overwhelm you. Make sure that you really do focus on yourself first, but don't be too self-centered, if that makes sense. You want this really good balance. And again, as I stated here, you need this balance, right? You need that balance between, you know, taking care of yourself and looking out for yourself, but then also taking care and looking out for others and the ones that you're close to. So, that's what I'm seeing with that. I still feel like there are more messages. Let's see what else we got going. Alright, I feel like I should be taking all of these. Oh, there's only 2. Okay. Interesting. So, you have the Queen of Cups and then the Knight of Wands. What I'm seeing with this is with the Queen of Cups, it's definitely, this is just kind of reaffirming to make sure, like, look at what you have control over. Look at what you have the power over, but make sure you don't overextend it. That's what I'm seeing with this. I'm seeing you as being the Queen of Cups here. You're being very in control. You're being very emotionally balanced. It just came into my head for whatever reason. So you're being very emotionally balanced. But what I see here with the Knight of Wands is this worry. It's this worry about, like, okay, so I got this influx of, like, you know, good stuff. I've been working hard. I've been doing what I've been doing. It's been paying off. Where's the catch? That's what I'm seeing with this, which I'm actually thinking is a good thing to be wary of. I'm seeing that it actually may be beneficial for you to kind of be on the fence a little bit, to kind of be, you know, maybe looking out, you know, maybe just kind of being like, all right, like, what's coming? Things are too good, you know what I mean? Like, things are working out a little bit too well than they previously were. Like, how is this, you know? Where's the catch? What's coming up? Something's gotta happen, you know, to knock me down. Which, like I said, isn't necessarily a bad thing. You don't want it to consume you, but definitely, you know, having that kind of caution isn't a bad thing. I'm not feeling like any bad energy or anything with that card, just as long as you make sure that, again, there's a good balance. There's a good balance between, you know, being cautious but not being too overly cautious to where it's like, you know, just not letting you live life, or you're, you know what I mean. All right, I feel like there's one more message in here for you guys. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna need a clarifier card for this one. All right, so you have Death, which is really interesting, but I almost feel that this card isn't necessarily talking about something that's going to come after. I feel like this is in regards to you entering Taurus season. It's not necessarily talking about anything that's going to happen during, but it's like kind of as you're coming into Taurus season, as you're moving into it, you're going to have this change that's going to occur. You're going to be entering a new cycle. I feel like you've already broken a cycle. I feel like whatever cycle that you're going through has already been broken, but this is signifying that you're coming into something new. But I am going to want to pull a clarifier card for Death just to see if there's anything specific Tara wants to tell me about that. Also, I apologize if you hear anything. They are playing music outside of my apartment right now. Shoot, my goodness. Interesting, yeah. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. Okay. This is definitely just talking about you entering this new cycle. It's different. I feel like you might have just broken a cycle that was very not positive for you. Riddled, you know, just kind of being anxious, like just not, you know, just generally just not feeling like on top of your game. But you're going to have this change come in with this new Taurus season. That is going to bring you abundance, going to bring you really good connections. The word family came into mind, so maybe you're going to be, you know, connecting with more of your family members. It doesn't have to be like blood relatives, but like people that you consider to be your family. Going to be connecting with them, going to be very prosperous and very abundant. So, I think that's it. Let me see if any more messages want to come through real quick. The phrase "be careful" just came into my head. So I think with that, it's referring to, you know, these people that might be trying to pull you down. Don't let them, right? And then also have that balance. Be careful of that balance. You want to make sure that you have that because you want to avoid, you know, you want to avoid having your cups full, but then them being knocked over, you know, then them being spilled. You want to avoid that. And the way to avoid that is through balance, and it is through making sure that you do take care of yourself first, but not to the extent that it's putting off others. And yeah, that concludes it. All right, thank you guys. I hope that you enjoyed your reading. If you have any questions, let me know. If you also want to book any private readings, you can click on the link to my Etsy shop or just send me an email. The link will be in the description box below. For those of you who are going to leave and not stick around for the other reading, that's totally fine. I appreciate you coming by. Please hit like, comment, or subscribe. If you feel drawn to, you don't have to, but I would appreciate it. And yeah, thank you very, very much. I will see you in the next video. And for those of you who have stuck around and want to see the second part of the reading for all the other signs for this Taurus season, we are going to begin now. So I'm just going to shuffle the deck here, and then we will begin reading for all of the other signs. And as I'm shuffling, I stated this when I was shuffling for the Taurus specific reading early in the video, but just to repeat that for those of you who skipped directly here, the way that I read tarot is intuitively. Now, that basically means that I don't always go with what the textbook or the guidebook, or what has historically been, traditionally with the tarot cards have meant. No, why do I do that? Because, one, I literally can't. Like, if I get messages, like, I have to deliver them. I will get anxious if I don't. They'll just keep continuously start bugging me, and I just feel like I'm doing a disservice if I don't deliver the inputs that I'm receiving from the universe. However, I do always make sure that I keep the traditional meanings of the cards in the back of my mind. And the reason I do this is because it's just, I just feel like I need to be honoring the history and the culture all around tarot. And so it's kind of a combination of both. If I had to put a label to my kind of psychic abilities, and I use air quotes around psychic because I just feel like the typical, definition of a psychic is skewed. I think everyone has the ability to read tarot cards, we're all in tune to this consciousness. Like, we all have the ability to do this. Some of us are just more practiced, some of us are more naturally inclined. But, so I use the term psychic as in, we are all psychic. But that's a whole other video. Anyway, the terms that I would use for this, if I had to use terms, would be clairsentient and claircognizant. So that is what I would call myself. However, I do also sometimes get input. Sometimes I hear things, sometimes small things, sometimes phrases or words come into my head. It all depends. It all depends on how the universe wants to present messages to me. But more often than not, it is clairsentient and claircognizant. All right. Also, oh my goodness, all right, Knight of Wands, that's all right. So Knight of Wands came out in the pre-shuffle. We'll see if it comes out again. The way that I shuffle is just until the cards feel right. There is no, some people have specific methods of shuffling, that's totally fine. They do what works for them. I do what works for me, and I just shuffle until the pile feels good. It's essentially how I like to do things, so. All right, so let's cut the deck and then we will begin. So this reading is again for any and all signs that are not Taurus. Or if you are a Taurus and you just want to, listen to this reading, you are more than welcome to, of course. Excuse me. I apologize, I'm getting over a cold, so my voice is a little hoarse and my throat's a little dry, but all right. Let's see what messages we have for all the other zodiac signs for this Taurus season. All right, 2 cards off the bat. Let's see what we got. Interesting. Okay. Love that. Okay, so 3 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. Taurus also got the 6 of Pentacles in their reading. what I'm seeing is the need to cooperate. I'm seeing the need to form those connections that you may have been slacking off on. There may be certain people in your life that you've just kind of had to put aside, kind of just, you know, been like, no, like, I can't hang out today, like, sorry, you know, which it happens, it's life. However, I'm getting the sense of those people that you really do care about, and you do, you know, you want to have some kind of relationship with them. I feel like they're kind of losing, I don't want to say, like, not losing faith in you, but, like, you know, you need to come back together, and you need to hang out, or, like, talk to them or text them, you know, give them a call, shoot them a text, you know, whatever it is. Just kind of reestablish that relationship, because I'm seeing it kind of start to maybe kind of fade a little bit, just ever so slightly. But you need to kind of reconnect and, you know, get that back and going again, because those people, I'm seeing they're very beneficial for you. Now, it's weird, though, because I'm not seeing anything as in, like, a lifelong type of thing, but there's something within the short term that I'm talking about, like, a year. Like, as when in the terms of the universe, a year is a very, very short time. So, there's something, you know, beneficial for you in the short run that, reconnecting with them is going to do for you. So, all right, let's see what else we got. And again, I'm not using any set spread. I didn't do this for the Taurus reading either. I am just simply shuffling until a card pops out. That's what I like to do when I'm not doing any specific spread. If I'm doing a spread, I shuffle in a different manner. But that's just how I like to shuffle. Again, everyone has their own methods. This is the one that works best for me. So, all right, what else can we get for, did a card flip over? Or am I crazy? No, I guess I'm crazy. Nice. All right, well. Anyway, what else do we have for the rest of the zodiac for this Taurus season? I also apologize if you can hear music. There's some people chilling by the pool in my apartment, and they are playing music, and I can kind of hear it. I don't know if it'll... Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, so the Devil card wanted to come out. I was trying to grab the Star card. Oh my goodness. I was trying to grab the Star card because that was also trying to come out. Okay, so it's interesting because we have the Devil and then we have the Star. So I feel like you might have been going away from these people because you felt some kind of negativity. You felt some sort of just like, this isn't flying, like I'm just not feeling it. You might have felt too attached. However, don't be afraid to come back, all right? Don't be afraid to come back together, because again, with the Star, I'm seeing balance, right? And again, this might be Capricorn. This is the Capricorn card. This is the Aquarius card. Maybe you have these in your chart. Maybe the people, you know, that you're associating with have these in their chart. But, you know, what I'm seeing is there's this balance that you know, that is to be made. And that's what I'm seeing with this distance, right? You maybe have distanced yourself, okay? You maybe have distanced yourself, and that's where this Devil card is coming into play, right? Maybe you felt too attached, you felt too addicted to them, and so, you know, you felt the need to distance, but now is the time to come back together, right? Because there's now this balance, okay? There's now this balance that's going to be coming together. So you did the right thing by distancing yourself. I'm not seeing any, you know, like, yeah, like just you did the right thing. Like you were right to just kind of be like, no, I can't hang out today, you know, that's good. However, now is the time for you to maybe shoot them a text. Just, hey, what's up? You know, like what's going on? You know, that kind of stuff. All right. See what else we got. of cards here, and for some reason I feel like I should be taking all of them. That rarely happens when I have a whole bunch of cards come out, but alright. So, I'm just going to lay them all out first, and then I'll start tuning into the messages. Okay, so, Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. I don't read reversals, by the way, so if that's why I'm flipping a card over, that's why. I don't read the reversals. I used to, but for some reason now, I'm just like, there's no reason for me to. I don't know why. It's just the change that happened to me over time, but anyway. Alright, so Nine of Swords, King of Cups, Eight of Wands, and then Ace of Swords. Okay, it's really interesting because all of these are playing out a story for me. Like, this is such a beautiful story that it all just outlined perfectly here. Okay, so, you were the Queen of Pentacles in the past, okay? Before this Taurus season, you had something, but you had to let it go. There was something that you had to release, and you did that. You walked away from it, but it was hard. It was very, very, very difficult for you to, okay? It was very, very hard for you to let go. A vision that I often see in situations like that is, holding a rope, right? You're just, and it's like, all wrapped around your hand, like, it's digging into your skin, like, just, nasty, right? And it hurts and it hurts and it hurts. And then you let it go, and suddenly everything becomes easier. You're not holding onto the rope. However, you still have some wounds and stuff that need to be healed, right? They're rubbed raw, like it still hurts, like your wounds hurt, but not as much as it would have been continuing to hold on to that rope, okay? So, it's interesting though because you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is typically, this feminine energy that's all about like, being in her own, just like having, the world at the tips of her fingers. And I feel like you had that, but you knew you needed to let that go. You knew you needed to release that, and you did, right? And so I feel like you're in between these two states here, because, it's actually funny because you have, 3 cards past, 3 cards, future or present. That's just... sometimes I still get blown away by how, like, perfect tarot is sometimes. Anyway, so, you're past this hurt stage, the worst of it, you're over, and you're moving forward, you're moving on. And what's interesting is that you're going to have this really fast influx of opportunity. You're going to have this new beginning in power, this new beginning of knowing yourself, this new beginning of mental clarity. You're going to have this, and you're going to have it come in, and it's going to come in quick. It's going to be really fast. It's going to shake you up a little bit. You're going to be like, what? Like, it's going to be very unexpected. It's going to take you places. It's going to physically take you places, as in like traveling, whether that's like just down the street, maybe the next town over, or across the world. Whatever it's going to be, you're physically going to be moving because of this this new opportunity. All right, I feel like there's one more message in here for you guys, so let's see. Well, love my life. Alright, I'm gonna take all the cards that landed face down. I'll put the ones that landed face up back. Okay, so. Love that. Okay. So, you have Temperance, Queen of Swords, and then Ace of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, again, this is just reaffirming, like, look. Right? you already see this, right? Like, you're being handed this new opportunity, and then you're going to become, you went from the Queen of Pentacles, who had, like, this, abundance of things, into this Queen of Swords, where you're back at your abundance level, but it's giving you this different kind of mental approach, this different kind of perspective that you really, really needed. And, with Temperance, it's just, there was that balance, right? You had this kind of, the word karmic came into my head. That was really weird. That was just very, it was just a very intense, like, karma. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you had this, you know, karmic cycle, or some kind of, you know, karmic bond or karmic tether that you broke, right? And so then you move forward. And that's what this Temperance card is saying. It's all about balance, okay? You know, it's, everything is kind of coming back together. It's coming back together during this Taurus season, right? You're kind of becoming whole again. And then, because of that, you're gonna, Ace of Pentacles, right? You have two aces here. You have the Ace of Swords, which is going to transform you into the Queen of Swords, right? But then, once you become into that power of the Queen of Swords, you're going to have this new opportunity, which I feel is going to be coming towards the end of Taurus season. So, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, that's it. Those are your messages for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel drawn to. If you'd also like to book a private reading with me, you can click the link in my Etsy shop below or send me an email. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And thank you very, very much for clicking on this video. And I will see you in the next video.